Few days before today, April 23, 2025, Adele Tomlin, owner of Dakini Translations Publications, emailed Henry Chia, a moderator in the Karma Pacheno group. She found out my posts warning others using her produced texts in the group and confronted Henry. As Henry pointed out himself, she blocked him for his non-compliance, thus has been banned from posting at Karma Pacheno group. To see the email, search on Facebook or go to adeletomlin.blogspot.com. Aren't you surprised how unreasonably offensive she can act? Which led me to wonder a lot. First, why did Adele Tomlin email Henry for my posts? Any moderator has the right to refuse or approve posts in a group. How about a little respect and not feeling so entitled to being obeyed all the time? Couldn't she remorsefully reflect back on her shameful actions, whether they are aligned with the spirit of Bodhisattva, as she unceasingly promotes divisiveness in our Sangha through crafty wordings and insidious sarcasm? Do her actions represent an authentic Dharma translator, or rather a cunning Dharma exploiter? Rather than approaching Henry to seek constructive feedback, she utilizes the common fog tactics, fear, obligation, guilt, to coerce Henry into compliance to block my posts. By fear tactic, she asserts her privileged status as a female Dharma translator, which she is not, that going against her equals to harming the Buddhadharma. By obligation tactic, she makes Henry feel obligated to comply because he previously had believed her one-sided story of being sexually abused by Sangye Nyenpa Rinpoche. By guilt tactic, she makes Henry feel guilty for not empathizing with and supporting her as a former sexual abuse victim. The fact that she habitually brings up this story whenever anyone going against her is a huge giveaway that it is an unequivocal lie. If believing the story demands siding with her every move, then she is obviously weaponizing such story for power and control. All in all, her constant tone of talking down to readers is an insidious form of psychological bully. Nobody has bullied nor abused her. Adele Tomlin is the one who is constantly bullying and abusing us readers. Second, why is Adele Tomlin scared that the fact she sees the Karmapa as guilty of the sexual allegations, yet pretends to promote his teachings and uses his name in various initiatives, be known to the public? As a supposedly trustworthy Dharma translator, wouldn't it be easier and more ethical for Adele Tomlin to dismiss my questioning by clarifying openly to the public the reason for portraying the Karmapa as guilty, despite the court documents stating otherwise? She once blocked me already and now she is trying to snuff me out. How on earth have I slandered her? Slander implies making baseless accusations. I have always encouraged readers to verify whatever I say by examining her website, Facebook posts, etc. If I am at all presenting flawed arguments against her, readers can tell on their own. Why the need to censor if whatever she does can stand the test of public scrutiny? Why can't she be truthful enough to speak up and counter my questioning? Isn't she an ex-lawyer? How can my flawed arguments possibly be able to manipulate the public in any way when people possess sharp acuity to decide for themselves? Does she habitually see people as unschooled toddlers? How insulting is she? Finally, let's compare my posts with her posts. How many of each of our posts are unsubstantiated, baseless lies, full of jealousy and so forth? I have nothing to hide. I need not block nor delete comments. I invite readers to decide for themselves. Yet, Adele Tomlin employs blocking, deleting, censoring tactics, going so far as to command Facebook group moderator to silence any dissenting views, maliciously skewing readers' judgment. Besides, my purpose is to encourage people to trust their own judgment by going to the official sources of the Karmapa for any texts and teachings, while Adele Tomlin competes with the official sources by diverting readers away instead to rely on her texts on her website as much as possible without any formal disclosure. Isn't she misleading the public by misrepresenting herself as, if not replacing, the Karmapa? Isn't she unethically, manipulatively, offensively hijacking the Karmapa's devotees? Why block me as my aim is to empower readers? Why support Adele Tomlin as her aim is to cripple readers? In conclusion, here I present a list of unresolved questions which I expect Adele Tomlin to speak up and provide responsible, truthful explanations to the public. Until then, I strongly suggest you disassociate away completely from such Mara, whose sole focus, apparently as you shall see with my questions, is to overthrow Vajrayana Buddhism, destroying your authentic study and practice. Adele Tomlin, explain yourself to us before you penalize people for being disobedient to you. Why do you treat the allegations against the Karmapa as facts, while the court document clearly shows otherwise? Why promote the Karmapa's teachings while painting him full of flaws? Why use the Karmapa's name in your various questionable initiatives? What is the purpose of diverting people away as much as possible from the Karmapa's own official websites to your own website? If you sincerely intend to promote his teachings, can't you simply refer people to his websites by quoting relevant key highlights? How exactly do people learn from the Karmapa when they are nudged to drift farther away from the Karmapa himself? Is this what it looks like, severing people's pure connection to the Karmapa and hijacking them to become your followers? In your website, you methodically present the Karmapa and his office crew as being inferior to you. What is the point of encouraging people who desire to learn from a lineage guru to hold impure perception, or shall I say suspicion, towards him in general, while viewing you, a self-proclaimed nobody, in a strikingly favorable shade? How does continual reporting of unverifiable sexual scandals of various lineage gurus in Vajrayana Buddhism align with your claim as a Dharma translator? How does this help with furthering readers' genuine spiritual cultivation? Why defend your gender as being female so ferociously all the time, such as underscoring your status as a female Dharma translator in your email to Henry and your website slogan? Why should people be continually reminded that Adele Tomlin, supposedly a natural woman, is indeed a woman? Why blame the patriarchal system in Vajrayana as being sexist, misogynist, anti-feminist while out of jealousy, you openly disrespectfully refer to any other younger-looking, more beautiful women as dolly birds, even prostitutes? Why paint Vajrayana Buddhism as a corrupt religion full of sex, meat, liquor, and wealthy, stupid donors, hinting that everyone should give up Vajrayana Buddhism and convert into worshipping you as a cult idol? Why eroticize solemn Dharma materials into so-called artwork, through images representative of vagina, suggestive wordings, faked unnatural haunting voices in your supposedly sacred Dharma music tracks? Are you not committing sacrilege by mixing in your erotic moaning and groaning in the Karmapa Keno music track besides using an image representative of vagina as the music cover? Why promote Dharma materials through eroticism in this existing over-sexualized society? Is this how a traumatized sexual victim would behave? Or an immature nympho unable to regulate sexual compulsion to the point of using Dharma to glorify maladaptive sexual dysregulation? Worse, are you actually using the Dharma as a facade to sell yourself to prospective viewers? Prostitution is a personal choice, but why promote it by exploiting the prominence of the Karmapa and the Buddhadharma, and not other more appropriate channels? Why criticize how Marpa treated Milarepa, the sacred bond of our Kagyu lineage fathers, that transcends worldly definition? Their level of bond is unattainable by normal human beings. The dynamics of their relationship are strictly due to their cumulative mutual past karmic connection. Why all the pointless judging while the outcome of their unique bond is Milarepa's incontestable great attainment? Why incessantly work to plant seeds of doubt in readers' minds towards Vajrayana Buddhism as an unsafe, corrupt community, simply because nobody is obedient to you? What is your motive in rupturing the father-son relationship between the Dalai Lama and the Karmapa? Why keep bringing up issues of past Gelugpa dominance in Tibet, and saying that the Dalai Lama is the true enemy of Tibet, that all lineages should go against the Gelugpa? Who could guarantee what actually occurred in the past while politics is so rife with manipulation and secret plots? When all scores are settled, why lament on past events which unraveled naturally due to past karmic causes and effects regardless of who were the true underlying mastermind perpetrators? Why continually look back in resentment instead of looking forward to enlightenment? Why all the blame and hate in a supposedly introspective Buddhist community? Why bring out the worst in readers by inciting hostility, doubt, fear, paranoia, alienation, and so on? Why keep hinting that the restriction of the Karmapa's movement is due to jealousy and obstruction from all other lineages within Vajrayana Buddhism, like Nyingma, Sakya, Gelug, including Kagyu, such as Sangye Nyenpa Rinpoche, Kalu Rinpoche, and Karmapa Trinley Thaya Dorje, yet never quite discloses on what grounds for jealousy? Both the Karmapas have openly expressed a unanimous stand to unite to serve sentient beings and prevent any divisive attempts to break the Karma Kagyu lineage. Yet you act against the wish of both the Karmapas, insinuate in every way possible how devotees of Karmapa Ogyen Trinley Dorje should turn against those of Karmapa Trinley Thaye Dorje, besides against those of Sangye Nyenpa Rinpoche, Kalu Rinpoche, Dzongsar Khyentse Rinpoche, the Sakya Trizin, and especially the Dalai Lama, sounding anxiously eager to wipe out the entire traces of Vajrayana Buddhism. Why keep underscoring how the closeness of the Karmapa with the Dalai Lama will ruin his existing cordial relationship with China? Why did the Karmapa have to risk life to escape from Tibet to India, if China has been indeed altruistically kind and supportive of his pure Dharma activities? Why vehemently defend China instead of our irreplaceable authentic lineage gurus? Who actually benefits the most from readers gullibly buying into these numerous twisted narratives that you present? And lastly, why give us an unwipeable smirk and psychopathic stare in your videos and photos as if to steal our life force? Listeners are welcome to add your own questions to the list by leaving comments. Don't worry, she won't be able to censor you anymore. This is our space, public space, not her oppressive dungeon.